So guys, the year of 2016 is finally coming to an end. We've had some great movies, some bad movies, some disappointments, but this is my top 10 movies of 2016. Let's get into it. What's up guys, my name is Zach and I'm bringing you guys my top 10 movies of 2016. I can't wait to talk about it, but first I do want to give some honorable mentions from this year, and also just so you do know, Silence and Live by Night will not be included in this just because I could not see a screening near me until January 25th, which is very disappointing, but when those movies do come out, I will get my review of those, and maybe if they do place in those, I will insert it into this video, but if not, here's my honorable mentions. Honorable mentions we're going to have here off my list is The Accountant, Don't Breathe, Zootopia, Kubo and the Two Strings. It kills me not to have it on there. Civil War, it really irked me I couldn't get it on there, but there's some really strong movies from this year. We also got Doctor Strange, a movie that Marvel finally had done something different for once. We also have Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, that I know some people had problems with the original Batman v Superman theatrical cut, but the Ultimate Edition, with still some of the problems, it did fix a lot for me and still comes in one of my favorite movies of this year, looking at it from the side of being a drama. Now, obviously, we have Manchester by the Sea, which it was so close to being number 10, but I went and saw this movie again, and the movie I put in number 10 is I really enjoy. You also got A Monster Calls and 10 Cloverfield Lane. Both very strong films, both very tear-jerkers, and 10 Cloverfield Lane is one of the best thrillers I've seen in years. At number 10 is going to be Edge of 17. Now, going in this movie, I had no expectations. Yeah, the trailers made me laugh, and yeah, a lot of that stuff made me enjoy it, but I wasn't really expecting a lot out of Edge of 17, and I came out with a coming-of-age story that's R-rated as hell, but I was laughing my ass off and enjoying the movie and seeing the perspective of an actual teenager. The conversations in here make me believe it's something a teenager would actually do and go through. It's the most realistic teenage movie I've seen in a while, besides Spectacular Now from a couple years ago, but I really enjoyed this. Haley Steinfeld absolutely deserves an Oscar nomination for her performance in this, and even the Blake Jenner from Everybody Wants Some was even great in this movie as well. It had a great supporting cast and a great story as well. I didn't know where it was going to go, and plus Woody Harrelson, can he ever do any wrong? If you guys haven't checked out Edge of 17, I really do recommend that movie. It's gotten up more on my list as the more I think about it. I really did enjoy that movie and how many laughs and how much dramatic elements and how much it made me actually feel. Coming in at number 9 is a surprise for me. Now, this movie I've seen probably 3 or 4 times since I finally initially saw it on Blu-ray. I had heard about it for so long from Andy Signore and even other people over in the Schmoes know, and that movie is Sing Street. I gotta say, Sing Street is one of my favorite movies of this year for many reasons. Like I said, if you watch my La La Land review, I'm not a big fan of musicals, but she is one of the most unique and amazing films I've ever seen. It's so much fun. It keeps the biggest smile on your face, and you're just rooting the whole time for the main character in it. It has great performances. It has great music. Really, the soundtrack for it is phenomenal, and the cinematography, the directing, everything out of it was perfect in my opinion. It's one of my favorite movies this year, and if you've not seen it, go check it out on Netflix right now. It's finally on there. If not, if you want to own that shit, go look it up, buy it on Blu-ray. I promise you, you will not regret it. At number 8 is a very dark film, in fact, that I finally saw a couple weeks back called Nocturnal Animals, directed by Tom Ford. Yes, the designer, Tom Ford. But I have to just say, Tom Ford, you have an eye for directing. Nocturnal Animals has stuck with me ever since I've seen it, and I wanted to get it up higher on this list, but it's one of those movies that I want to see again before I could even move it up. But for me, I feel like placing it at this level would be perfect, because Nocturnal Animals is one of those movies you leave, and you might not like what you saw, or you might not like the ending, but the more you think about it, you start to enjoy it more. And it's a little confusing, but trust me, once you get the satisfaction of understanding the full story and how confusing and just all the interweavings that Tom Ford had put into there, with great performances by Jake Gyllenhaal, which is probably one of my favorite performances besides Nightcrawler. Michael Shannon and Aaron Taylor-Johnson both should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor for the great performance he did. Aaron Taylor-Johnson plays this dirty character in there, and then Michael Shannon plays this corrupted sheriff in a sense, and you even got Amy Adams' character, who's just phenomenal in as well. Great performances all along the board, great storytelling, such a different, unique telling of a story that I cannot recommend enough. Yes, it's a very artsy film, but if you can get past some of that and understand the story within this, it's seriously a movie worth seeing when it comes to a theater near you. Number 7 is, I had a problem putting either this or Swiss Army Man in this place, because I love Swiss Army Man, but this movie was also very unique in the storytelling and the kind of unique universe that I put it in, and this movie is The Lobster, starring Colin Farrell, which gives a great performance in it. The Lobster is one of those movies that when you hear about it, you're like, what is this movie? The Lobster it's unique, it's different, and it's one of those movies that when you hear about it, it's very weird, and it's pretty much just about a man who doesn't find a lover, he turns into an animal, and the story and the tale that they go about, the universe, the building, I wanted more from this universe, and I want to see more in this, but as a standalone movie, it stands on its own, and it's very comedic and very dramatic, and the ending leaves you thinking. When the ending happened, I hated it. But the more I thought about it, I really started to love that ending more and more and more. And this movie, I cannot recommend enough to seeing. It's worth seeing once. If you really liked it, I think it's worth rewatching to see some of the other little things you pick out like I have. But it's one of those movies that it's worth giving a shot, and it really does deserve the spot on my list. Coming in at number 6 is going to be Rogue One. Yes, you heard it. I had to get a Star Wars movie on here. Is it one of the best Star Wars movies? Yeah, in my opinion, it is. Besides that first 20 minutes, that movie is action-packed, top to bottom, one of the best Star Wars movies ever, with great performances. Yes, the character development could have been stronger, but for the pacing of that movie, it does great job for what it gives. Some of the characters are better than others, but that is fine. K2SO steals the movie. Donnie Yen's character steals the movie. Both have some of the great lines and great action pieces of that whole film. And then obviously, if you've seen the movie, you'll know why I say Darth Vader, Darth Vader, Darth Vader. Go see the movie if you're a big fan of Darth Vader. Yes, he's not in the film a lot, but he has 2 great scenes that you are going to absolutely lose your fucking mind, I promise you. And at number 5 is, this is a film that, for being one of my favorite comic book characters, I had to put it in here, and that is Deadpool. I've seen Deadpool I saw it in the theaters probably over 12 times, and I also have probably rewatched it over 35 times. Is that excessive? Absolutely yes. But I love Deadpool to death. Deadpool is one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time, and the fact that they got to redo him and make him perfect from how he was in the comics. I understand if that's not your humor or that you don't like the action pace in there. And yes, is it a basic story? Absolutely. But the best thing about Deadpool is it does it differently in a lot of ways. Very meta. It looks at the audience and expects you to know what is going on. The end credit scene was great and funny and tied back to Ferris Bueller's Day. The villain was great as well. The acting all around the board is great. It sets up a great universe for Deadpool to sit in, and it's one of the most unique and best storytelling devices that they've ever done in a superhero movie. It's also one of the funniest superheroes movies. I die laughing every time I hear them. George Michael, rest in peace. Can't believe you were taken from us. But wham! Is this one of the best movies I've seen of this year. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Hell or High Water. Hearing about this movie, I had no idea. All I knew about this movie was Chris Pine, Ben Foster, Jeff Bridges, and a man that looks like John Roca from the Schmoes Know and Collider videos was on there. And I gotta say, I love Hell or High Water. It is one of my favorite films of 2016. It's a bank heist. It's a neo-western. It has all these great dynamics. It has a great action. Let me say Ben Foster with a machine gun, Ben Foster with a machine gun, and Ben Foster with a machine gun. If you've seen the movie, you understand completely what I'm talking about. This movie had some of the best lines in it, some of the best memorable scenes of the year, and also some of the best dramatic elements. You do care for these 2 brothers who are robbing banks, and that's hard to say because you have to make us care about 2 criminals. For why would we care about them? But I have to say it is a great job from the director from doing that and the writer as well. Hell or High Water is a must-see in 2016 and will be a scene at the Oscars. Coming in at number 3 is Hacksaw Ridge. Let me tell you this. I love Andrew Garfield. I'm a big fan of Mel Gibson besides all of his personal dealings, but Mel Gibson is a fantastic director and a great actor as well. Is he acting in this? Nope. Is he directing? Yep. And we also got Andrew Garfield, who in The Social Network was robbed of an Academy Award winning Best Supporting that year. And I hope to God he actually gets nominated this year. At least. Yes, Casey Affleck he's going against, but he was fantastic in Hacksaw Ridge. Gives one of the best performances I've ever seen from the kid. It was brave, it was storytelling, and the story of Dawson in this movie is so powerful and moving. It makes you feel proud to be an American, especially with a lot of debates and stuff about the presidential elections going on. Seriously, if whatever side you're on, gotta say that this story makes you proud to be an American, that this man served for our country. Vince Vaughn and Sam Worthington are both also in this movie supporting actors. Vince Vaughn does a great job as being this boot camp leader who gives some of the best memorable lines, and I can't wait to watch this movie again because of those scenes. And also Sam Worthington, you keep up with the supporting actor because you do a great job. Yes, your accent kind kind of slipped in there, but that is fine because you did a great job. Some of the best brutal scenes I've seen in 2016 for war and of all time. Mel Gibson does not hold back, but that is what this movie is about. In at number 2, 2 and 1, I kept flipping back and forth, but number 2 goes to Arrival. Denis Villeneuve, the director. Sorry I butchered your name, but man, every film I've seen of his, since Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, and now Arrival, I've all given 10 out of 10s to. I think they are absolute masterpieces of cinema. Now, are they for everyone? Absolutely no. But every movie I've seen of his, and I know the ones before are probably even better too, but all 4 of these movies are absolutely my favorite. Arrival for me is probably my number 1 or 2nd favorite from his. I would have to go back and watch his other ones, but God, I love Arrival. His directing, his pacing, it's a slow burn, but it totally pays off in the ending. He also gives some of the best performances out of Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner, and the ending of this movie is so heart-wrenching, and it just hurts you inside. It makes you hard. And this is a movie about aliens, communication with aliens. That movie, the fact that it hit me on such an emotional level and hit me that hard makes me have to say that this is one of the best movies of 2016, and it is a movie you cannot miss. I promise you. Arrival is so great, and it's a movie that a lot of people should see in this time of day, in the era that we live in with all the problems going on. Arrival will unite people, I promise. The CGI was fantastic. The communication that they do with these aliens are so unique. The way the aliens went about with making them look was so cool and different that I have to say is something that Independence Day obviously could not do, but Arrival can. Denise is someone that making me excited for Blade Runner next year, and I cannot wait to see what happens with his career. Coming in at number 1, surprise, surprise, my number 1 favorite movie of this year is La La Land. Guys, La La Land stole my heart, swept me off my feet, and makes me want to watch it every single day for the rest of my life. And Chazelle does such a fantastic job directing this. Is it better than Whiplash for me? Absolutely yes. I loved Whiplash to death. That was my favorite movie of that year. But this movie absolutely stole my heart away and stole everything I loved about this. I don't like musicals. It's one of my least favorite genres of movies and cinema. But I have to say, the fact of how he directed this movie, how he directed it like an old classic film of Hollywood, made me even love it more, because I love those old classic films. Casablanca, Rear Window, even Singing in the Rain. Even though I said I don't like musicals, I appreciate for all those movies, and this is something, it makes you feel like you're watching one of those. It's great. The performances are out of this world. Ryan Gosling, fantastic job, but Emma Stone is the true star of this. Best actress of this year for me. Even though Amy Adams was super strong in her movie, I have to say this movie really stole it for me. Music is great. The dancing is amazing. The storytelling is fantastic and whimsical and wipes you right off your feet. And the ending is so brutal, but so realistic. And it really makes a lot of sense. And some people won't like it, but I love it. The more I thought about the ending, I like it more than Whiplash's ending. And I think Damien Chazelle is someone we really need to be looking out for. Great writing, great directing. This is a movie that when the second it comes to your theater, please go and see. This is one of those musicals. Even if you're not a fan of musicals, this is a movie for you to see. La La Land truly is my favorite movie of 2016, and I cannot wait to see it again. So much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to comment down below and let me know your guys' top 10 list of 2016 for movies. I want to hear what you guys said, because it's different. This is my opinion, but I also want to hear your guys' opinion. Everyone has their own list. I don't care if you put a Suicide Squad. I don't care if you put a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I do want to hear those lists, because I like seeing other people's opinions and hearing and talking about it. So comment down below. Let me know your list. Also, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. You're going to be getting a lot more videos in 2017. I can't wait to bring that over. Also, check out my short films over on Zandria Studios. That is my other YouTube account. There's a lot more coming out. I can't wait. You'll be getting an update video as well for what I want to bring in 2017. But besides that, guys, have a happy New Year's, guys, and thank you so much for watching.